Simon, they said the WWE Network has been updated, and as much as I love it because of X, Y, and Z, it's also pissing me off because of A, B, C. What can you do about it? I was asked, so I came up with the craziest idea ever. Why don't I take my finger of power and play around with the new WWE Network and give the good bits an up and give the bad bits a down? So it's basically like reviewing the update for WWE's subscription service. So that's what I've done. It's a little bit different, but I like to change up the formula. Let's up those downs for the WWE Network 2.0. I guess it was always going to happen given that it was technically a new piece of software, but as soon as WWE had hit the go button on this brand new version of the network, it was filled with bugs. Down. Much like a video game that gets bombarded with comments after it goes and breaks itself using a day one patch, WWE's Twitter account was bombarded with people going, "What have you done? Why is this not working? And why is that not working? And also, why all of a sudden is it buffering like crazy?" Which it was. Small behind the scenes for you there on that note as well. I was one of those people that was suffering from similar issues as I watched WWE Smackville the whole time going, what is this, some kind of drug-fueled madness? And even though Elias's voice and the mouth was out of sync with each other, I blamed it on my own internet connection. I even looked at my box and went, damn you for not working. I am a fool. It was frustrating though, especially because there was no forthcoming answers, and whenever who was responsible for fixing this went and fixed it, all it did was create a brand new set of problems. It was basically like Hydra. We cut off one head and two grew, and then the Avengers were dying. I do have a certain amount of sympathy for the people that are trying to rectify this, because it's just the most 2019 problem ever. But if you have dropped $9.99 on a service, you expect it to work, and you expect it to work bug-free. At first, this was not the case. Take all of that and double it, because some users found that the WWE Network wasn't working at all, which means we should call it the WWE Net Unwork. I regret saying that. That's the worst joke I've ever made. Let's just give it a down. There we go, and move on. It is true though, those trying to access it using their LG TV or their Chromecast or their Chrome browser found that nothing was working, and basically the network had become one giant toilet. That's the worst as well, because if you had no idea that the WWE Network had just been spruced up and you're trying to log in and nothing was working, you're going to be really pissed off, and you're not going to have a clue as to why yesterday you were able to watch, I don't know, Macho Man versus Ricky Steamboat, but today you can't even see what Baron Corbin is up to. That always sucks. You get annoyed because it's like you don't have any of the answers. And again, you're paying money for something, shouldn't be pissing you off. But let's turn things around. Let's get on the positivity train, because the Circ's functionality finally works. Give it up. It's nonsense that we should even be happy about this, but the old one, for example, would find you Shinsuke Nakamura, the Rock star, versus Austin Aries if you searched for Austin Rock. I mean, that is so dumb and so stupid and went on for so long, I can't even get my head around it. That's like you having some kind of movie app. You type in Pitt, and instead of getting Brad Pitt, you get the Pitt movie from the 80s. If you don't know what that's all about, that film is about a kid who's a bit of a brat who finds 4 monsters living in a pit. That is not what you wanted to find. We don't have to concern ourselves with this anymore though, because the WWE Network search engine is now basically its own version of Google. It works, it's very fast, and if you are looking for a specific niche match, 9 times out of 10, it will pluck it out the air for you. Let's be straight with this too. Even with the downs in this video, I still stand by the fact WWE absolutely had to update the network. It's starting to feel very old. And on that note, it also means now you're not punished for using it just because you decided not to use a PC or a desktop. There gets it up. If you were familiar with the network version 1, shout out to Matt Hardy, you know that it was okay if you used it on a video game console or a portable device, but as soon as you sat down and used it on a desktop or a PC computer, it was so much better you wondered why you would ever do anything else. It's like Vince McMahon was laughing at you from your PS4, you're playing a bit of God of War, then you want to watch the network, and all of a sudden you heard ha 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 ha. Vinnie-Mac. And yes, there are still a few bugs that we've already touched upon, but when it does work, it's far more uniform, and basically every device feels like every other device, and that's what it should be. That's what Netflix does. So because Netflix is number one, it means WWE has to do that as well. You can seamlessly move from one piece of equipment to the next, and it doesn't forget what you're watching, and it feels the same. It's just a lot easier to use. Nice. It also now upscales and runs in 1080p. Like, the fact it didn't do that before actually blows my mind. What are you doing, WWE? You think it's like 1912? Because it's not, we're moving forward in the world. But hey, a good step forward is a good step forward. Give it up. All this change did see the network suffer from one major oversight though, and that comes in the form of people who are blind or visually impaired, and it comes as no surprise, that's a down. Not an area you're probably familiar with unless you are suffering from sight issues. Basically, this update has stopped navigational readers from telling you what you're seeing on the screen. Buttons, for example. A button doesn't say search or WWE or Raw or SmackDown. A navigational reader now just sees it as button. That ain't helping no one. And I can understand how those kind of things slip through the system without anyone noticing, but that is still no excuse, especially because we have to be being as inclusive as possible. And that's doubly true when it was working before. You can't take things away. You don't go up to a kid and rip sweets out of his mouth. It's even got a saying, taking candy from a baby. And again, I know it wasn't intentional, but that's just how the human brain works. You have it, then you don't have it, and everybody loses their mind. Getting back onto happier things though, NXT now has its own landing page and it looks absolutely spiffing. Give it up. Given that it is one of the things that is most consistently watched on the WWE Network, it deserves some love, especially if you are a brand new convert to NXT. You want to be able to get to this HQ and it makes your eyes light up. And you can times that by 2 when you realize that yes, come October, NXT may be going to FS1 on Wednesday nights, so it'll be live on television. What if somebody likes it so much they want to catch up? They hear about the WWE Network. When you get to the NXT bit on there, you want it to look awesome. Now it looks awesome. Don't do that, Simon, it's annoying. WWE has also made it far more easier to go through individual events, or in short, they've got rid of those grey dots that sometimes spoil things for you. Give it up. Now, to be honest, that never really bothered me. Like, if you don't know the result of WrestleMania 3, and then you get annoyed that a WWE tool spoils WrestleMania 3 for you, I think the issue may be with the individual, but whatever, it's still nice that WWE thought about this person. Still though, WWE has changed this so it's now divided into chapters, which makes it easier to navigate, but also to figure out where a match starts and where a match ends. And like with the WWE Network 2.0 altogether, it just looks so much nicer and looks like something you'd expect to get in 2019 as opposed to when the dinosaurs were roaming the earth. And a final controversial one, but given that it is given the user choice, we gotta give it up. What am I talking about? Well, now you can skip the intro to any pay-per-view or any event that you want. Now, in Simon Miller's world, in no way am I ever skipping anything with that guy that used to go, "The World Wrestling Federation, the leader in sports entertainment," or whatever he used to say. I love that. I could hear that every day until I die, and I would still smile, but you don't want to be, hammered by the things that I enjoy. You want to be able to make your own decisions. And now you can, and once again, we need to tip our hats to Netflix in that sense, because they let you skip intros, and I think WWE went, well, if Netflix done it, we gotta do it too, which is now the theme of this video. And that really does sum it up too. There was a bunch of issues that WWE need to nickel down on. It was imperative, they've done it, and now we finally have a version of the WWE Network we can be proud of. They're still gonna get rid of those bugs, but they will go because they have to. Then it's smiles and thumbs and whatever else you want to give it, rainbows and stars and moons all around. It's much better. It is. It really, really is. Which of course means when the overall arrow starts to spin, which it does, we give it an up as well. I mean, that was obvious. I'd already hinted at it quite a lot. But the WWE Network 2.0, round of applause for you. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about the new version of the WWE Network. Like, share, and subscribe. Head on over to whatculture.com and read yourself some articles. Follow WhatCulture on Twitter. And WhatCulture WWE. Remember to breathe, and then watch more videos here on What Culture Wrestling. My name is Simon from What Culture. Thank you very much for watching. And look, if you are having any other issues with the WWE Network 2.0, put them in the comments below, and we can always talk about it. We can always discuss it, and can we always try and get to the promised land. I will see you soon, specifically Tuesday, 2 p.m. BST, when we up those Raw Downs.
Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from What Culture, and if you're a fan of what you've just seen, then make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts for daily wrestling podcasts, where we not only review Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, we also discuss the events before and after of pay-per-views. We have roundtable discussions discussing burning wrestling issues, interviews, and a roundup of the week, complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on wrestle culture. Thanks for watching. I've been Adam from What Culture, and I'll see you soon.